So the biggest challenge to seeing the truth in terms of cognitive biases is going to be the confirmation bias. Now, how does that work? And how can you get past your own confirmation bias? So, for example, I grew up in California, Southern California, and then Northern California. And I grew up in a pretty liberal Democratic family, unions, so my confirmation bias is around all of those issues. So I've been continually exposed to those ideas over time. So it's very difficult for me to get behind an ideology, for example, that's put forth by a very conservative Christian community in Arizona that promotes that particular viewpoint. And likewise, someone who's grown up in that environment and gets a constant, so the confirmation is that your friends, your family, the newspapers you read, the television shows that you watch, all of that sort of feeds you into one funnel. So not to toot my own horn, but the difference for me is that I'm trying to discover where my cognitive biases lie, where my confirmation bias lies. So for example, I don't just listen to NPR. I go on and I try to see what what Fox News is saying about a particular issue. And then I also go on to Ground News and see what news stories are being shown to right-wing audiences and left-wing audiences. Now, I don't really want this conversation to just be about right and left. This is more about how confirmation bias will take you away from seeing the truth, which in any area, whether it's your health, whether it's, you think that carbs are good for you or bad for you, or whether you think that meat is good for you or bad for you, or whether the way you treat your wife or the way you treat yourself, or, how do you approach your business life, the cognitive biases that you have, the things that have already, the confirmation bias in particular, that you've already been confirming what you already know, is going to take you away from the truth. So the first step is to know that you are within a confirmation bias, and you can't get out of that without at least acknowledging and trying to get out of it. With a 3-minute talk, that's about as deep as we can.